You know what's crazy? Right now, there are probably 50,000 people watching this video who are this close to quitting their jobs to start a business. And I'm willing to bet that about 49,000 of them are going to fail within the first 18 months, not because their idea is bad, not because they are lazy, but because they are focused on the completely wrong thing. They are building a business when they should be building a system. I was that person. 3 years ago, I was working 80-hour weeks in what I proudly called my business, making less money than I did at my corporate job, constantly stressed, unable to take a single day off. I didn't own a business. I owned an exhausting, expensive job that I couldn't quit. My name is Dean, and I spend way too much time thinking about why most entrepreneurs are basically just self-employed employees with worse benefits. If you're someone who dreams about financial freedom but worries that starting a business might trap you in an even worse situation than your 9-to-5, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because here's the thing. Most people who start businesses aren't actually entrepreneurs. They're just buying themselves a job. And it's usually a worse job than the one they left. Let's talk numbers, because the statistics here are wild. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 50% of small businesses fail within 5 years. But that's not even the worst part. Of the businesses that survive, most are just providing their owners with a modest paycheck. American Express found that the average small business owner makes about $68,000 a year while working 50 to 60 hours a week with no paid vacation, no employer-matched retirement, and significantly more risk. Here's the math that nobody talks about. Let's say you're making $65,000 a year at your corporate job. You work 40 hours a week, get 3 weeks vacation. Your employer contributes 4% to your 401k, and health insurance costs you $200 a month. Your actual compensation is closer to $80,000 when you factor everything in. Now you quit to start a business. You're working 60 hours a week, no vacation, paying $600 a month for health insurance, putting nothing toward retirement. To match your previous lifestyle, you need to make closer to $95,000. That's just a break even. That's not financial freedom. That's just a more stressful version of what you already had. So what's going wrong? Why do businesses become these expensive traps? One fundamental mistake. People build businesses that require them to operate every single day. You start a consulting business. Guess who has to be on every client call? You. You start a freelance design agency. Who approves every design? You. You start a coffee shop. Who opens when someone calls in sick? Also you. You haven't built a business. You've built a complicated machine that only works when you're pulling the levers. And look, I'm saying this because I want you to succeed. The only way to succeed is to fundamentally change how you think about this. Don't start a business. Start a system. Here's the difference, and this is where it gets really interesting. A business is dependent on you. A system is independent of you. A business trades your time for money. A system multiplies your time and creates leverage. Let me give you a concrete example. You're a graphic designer thinking about going out on your own. The business approach. You do all the work yourself. You charge $100 an hour, bill 30 hours a week. That's $156,000 a year. Sounds great, right? Except you can't take a vacation without losing income. You can't get sick. You've hit a ceiling at $156,000, and to maintain that, you work constantly. The system approach. You hire 2 junior designers at $25 an hour and train them on your process. You create templates, style guides, quality control checklists. You still charge clients $100 an hour, but pay designers $25. You make $75 profit per hour on their work. If each designer bills 20 hours a week, that's $3,000 a week. The same amount, but you're barely touching the actual design work. Your time is freed up to bring in more clients, hire more designers. Within a year, you could have 5 designers. That's $390,000 in annual profit, and you're managing the system, not doing the designs. This is leverage. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Dean, why doesn't everyone do this? First, there's the craftsmanship trap. We believe that our personal touch is what makes our work valuable, that clients are paying for us specifically. And sometimes that's true, but more often, it's ego. Most businesses can be systematized. Most of what you do can be broken down into a process someone else can follow. Second, control issues. Building a system means trusting other people. What if they mess up? Here's the thing. You're already messing up by limiting your business to what you personally can handle, by burning yourself out, by building something that can't exist without you. 1. Documented processes. Everything you do regularly needs to be documented. How you onboard clients, deliver your service, handle complaints. Every time you do the same task for the third time, document it. Create a step-by-step process someone else could follow. 2. Delegation. Here's the math. You're spending 10 hours a week on admin tasks. Your time is worth $100 an hour. That's $1,000 a week. Hire a virtual assistant for $20 an hour. That's $200 a week. By spending $200, you free up $1,000 of your time. You create $800 of value. And you can now use those 10 hours for high-value work. If someone can do a task for less than your time is worth, delegate it. 3. Technology and automation. CRM systems, automated emails, scheduling software, bookkeeping automation. These can run huge portions of your business on autopilot. I used to spend 5 hours a week scheduling calls. Then I set up automation. That's 250 hours a year I got back by spending 2 hours on setup. 4. Metrics. You can't improve what you don't measure. Track your leads, conversion rate, customer acquisition cost, lifetime value. Most small business owners have no idea which marketing works or where they are losing money. Let me tell you about Sarah, a wedding photographer. She started doing everything herself. Shooting every weekend, editing at night, managing everything. Making $90,000 a year, working 60-hour weeks. Then she built a system, trained 3 photographers, hired an editor, built a client management process. Now, team of 6 photographers. She shoots maybe 10 weddings a year, the one she wants to. The business generates $450,000 in revenue. Her profit margin is higher because of optimized systems. She works 25 hours a week, took a month off last summer, and when she had a baby, her income didn't drop. That's the power of systems. Here's what you do. Step 1. Audit your time this week. For 7 days, track every task. Write down the task, how long it took, whether only you can do it or someone else could with training. Step 2. Document one process this month. Pick one regular task. Create a step-by-step document. Use screenshots, record a video. Goal. Someone else could get 80% of your quality by following it. Step 3. Take action within 90 days. Hire someone to take over your documented process or implement one automation tool. Start small. Virtual assistant for 10 hours a week. Scheduling tool. Email automation. Just take one thing off your plate. Step 4. Measure ongoing. Track your key metrics monthly. Ask, what's working? What's not? What's the next bottleneck? Look, financial freedom doesn't come from working harder. It comes from building systems that work for you. You cannot work your way to wealth in a business that requires your constant presence. There are only 168 hours in a week. The only way to break through is leverage. And leverage comes from systems, people, technology, processes that multiply your effort. Every wealthy entrepreneur has figured this out. They're not rich because they work harder. They are rich because they built systems that generate value without their constant input. Jeff Bezos isn't packing boxes. Sarah Blakely isn't stitching Spanx. They built systems. And you can too. You don't need to build Amazon. You just need to shift your mindset from I'm building a business to I'm building a system. Here's my challenge. Stop dreaming about starting a business and start planning to build a system. Stop asking what product should I offer. Start asking what system can I build that creates value and runs efficiently. Your time is your most valuable asset. Every business decision should be judged by one criterion. Does this give me more control over my time or less? If you're trading more time for slightly more money, you're going the wrong direction. If you're building systems that free up your time while growing your income, you're on the path to actual financial freedom. It won't be easy. Building systems requires thinking like an architect, not a craftsman. It requires trusting others, letting go of control, upfront investment that might not pay off immediately. But it's the only path that leads where you actually want to go. If you found this valuable, hit subscribe. I make videos like this every week breaking down real financial principles. Give this a thumbs up if it shifted your perspective. Drop a comment. Are you building a business or a system? What's your biggest challenge? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.